Salute to everybody in the building. Hit that like button. Come on in. Emergency live stream. Keyshawn Davis misses weight against Edwin De Los Santos by 4 pounds. Hit that like button. Come on in. We got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about it. Keyshawn Davis, I don't know how he missed weight. Well, actually, I do. You know what I'm saying? He outgrew the weight class, but we're going to talk about it amongst some other things that happened in the sport the past 48 hours. Beautiful day today. Indiana Pacers just pulled off the upset against the Oklahoma City Thunder last night. Crazy, crazy upset in the sport of basketball. But boxing, Keyshawn Davis pulled off the upset and missed weight on the scales. And now he's going to be stripped of his WBO lightweight title. Man, it's crazy how things change in boxing so fast. We were just talking about how these guys wasn't going to be fighting each other. Now they really ain't going to be fighting each other because Keyshawn is not going to be in the weight class no more. What's up, Chung? I see you in the building. Salute to everybody in the building. I know this is an odd time to go live, but we ain't gonna be too long. We just gonna talk about it real quick, some things that happened in the past 24 to 48 hours.
Years now, I just outgrew the weight. I tried. I was up late last night trying to wake up, woke up early this morning trying to make the weight. I just outgrew the weight, man. I was feeling it last time I was fighting ranching. Thank God I made it.
So basically, he barely made it last time, and as we seen last fight, he cut his dreads, to make the weight. So one would imagine him coming in this time, it was going to be difficult for him to make the weight. Now, one would question, is De Los Santos still going to take this fight, right? Because now he's obligated to get paid without even fighting at all. And then they're going to bump the co-main likely to the main event. And it's just going to be a whole disaster altogether. He's totally obligated, if I'm not mistaken, to just take the money and not fight at all. Now, mind you, De Los Santos hasn't been in the ring in about 2 years. And if you've seen him, he looked like one of the characters off Attack on Titan. He looks weight drained his damn self, right? Keyshawn didn't necessarily look weight drained, but he didn't make the weight by 4 pounds. De Los Santos made the weight, but he actually looks weight drained. And we haven't seen De Los Santos in about 2 years. So credit to De Los Santos for still being a professional and doing what he got to do to make the weight. Now, when we see these guys standing by each other, face to face, Keyshawn appears to be the much bigger guy, at least by a whole weight class. Honestly, I didn't expect the size difference to be that significant. Keyshawn looked like he just grew overnight past a lot of these guys at 135 pounds. You said, does a WBO allow the point? Yeah. He's gonna only he has a chance to win a belt tomorrow. Keyshawn don't got a chance to win. Even if he does win tomorrow night, he won't be awarded the WBO title. So only De Los Santos has a chance to win. This is all up of De Los Santos. He don't even got to take the fight. He could just take the money and go, but he won't get an opportunity to win the world title. Now, I think the smart move would be to take the fight, even though it's risky as hell now, right? Keyshawn is no slouch by any means. One of the best young fighters in boxing. Um, it's still not a chance that De Los Santos will go out there and get the victory to become a WBO champion, to have leverage in the weight class, to demand some of the more bigger fights to get the bigger paydays. So it's a risk altogether for De Los Santos if he was to take the fight. It's not like Keyshawn's some chump. He missed weight. One could say it was unprofessional. One could say that he likely should have known that he wasn't going to make the weight. And, this is kind of what happens. So Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis missed weight on their come up. This is another thing, you guys, when we talk about guys like Crawford, who I say has just one of the most cleanest careers in boxing. He never missed weight. None of that stuff, bro. Like, a lot of these guys be missing weight and doing all this stuff. Some of my favorite fighters be missing weight, testing positive, coming up with clauses and all this other funny shit. There's a lot of things that be happening. But one thing I also noticed that happened was that he was pressing the young Abdullah Mason. Now, Bob Arum came out and said that fight is not going to happen right now. You know what I'm saying? And rightfully so. Keyshawn Davis can't even make 135 no more. But he had a lot of energy. Y'all know I'm a big Keyshawn fan. Everybody knows it. He's one of my favorite fighters. But he had a lot of smoke for the young Abdullah Mason, who's not a talker, who's a very, very, very humble kid. He's not gonna be on the microphone talking. He may develop some type of gift of gab over the years, but right now he just don't got it at all. And Keyshawn seemed to have a lot of smoke for him. But when it came to Ray Morataya, when it asked about him, he was totally dismissive of the fight altogether. So that raised question for me as to Ray Morataya may have got something that Keyshawn just don't like for whatever reason. And whether you believe that Morataya lost against Tevin Farmer, which a lot of people think that Tevin Farmer should have got that win, um, whatever reason Keyshawn is not entertaining that fight, and probably because he knew he probably wasn't gonna be able to make the weight no more, right? Because he did mention something about the IBF weight clause, but since it's a unification, that's not going to happen.
Years now, I just outgrew the weight. I tried. I was up late last night trying to wake up, woke up early this morning trying to make the weight. I just outgrew the weight, man. I was feeling it last time I was fighting ranching. Thank God I made it.
You know what I'm saying? Smash the like button for your boy. We're not going to be too long. We just had to drop the news for those who don't know. And if you don't know, now you know. Keyshawn Davis missed weight by 4.3 pounds ahead of his fight against Junior. I keep thinking Junior Dos Santos. It's Edwin de los Santos. I got to damn near catch myself every time I say his name. But yeah, man. Crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. I don't know. I think the move is 140 pounds, man. And I think until guys like Boots Ennis or all of these guys that fans like to call weight bullies, until these guys actually miss weight, we can't call them that. You know what I'm saying? They able to make the weight, as we can see certain guys just out of nowhere just not making the weight. So, yeah, Keyshawn Davis' next fight should be at 140 pounds, and I think that's the way he should continue to move on. He's probably going to grow past 140 pounds pretty fast as well. He probably going to be a welterweight before we know it. You said it's Keyshawn on shit because we know he missed weight on purpose. I don't know, man. He didn't go back and try again. You know what I'm saying? They gave him an hour to go and try to get the rest of the weight off, and he, declined the offer to go do it. He said he was trying all night, and all morning to kind of get it off, and it just ain't going nowhere. He probably ain't got nothing left to lose at this point. He don't look like he got anything left to lose, and I'm not saying that as an excuse for Keyshawn, but that's just the reality of it. The kid is growing. You know what I'm saying? He's outgrowing the lightweight division. He outgrew it relatively quick. Well, he said he's been there for 4 years, so yeah, it's about that time, man. Anyway, it just happened now when he won his world title and everything else. He probably thought he can do it one more time, but it just didn't work out. But I don't know, man. He mentioned something about Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez came out with an excuse about mental health and all this stuff now since ducking Devin Haney. It's crazy how these dudes just magically come out of nowhere with these issues all of a sudden when he was just talking shit on his soapbox about every black boxer he could find. And now all of a sudden when he declined, now he done lost his mind. I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Lomachenko retires. So he's out of the picture now. So it kind of clears up the division for the young fighters to kind of do their thing. And we're gonna see now. Now that Keyshawn is pretty much not gonna be a welterweight anymore. I mean, I'm sorry, lightweight anymore. This clears up the division for Shakur Stevenson, who likely could still make the weight to go ahead and unify the division of Tank Davis. If Tank Davis wants to unify, we know that's going to be a problem within itself to get Javante Tank Davis to unify. Not to mention he has Lamont Roach problems right now. So, um, but yeah, man, that's what happened. That's what happened. Wasn't planning on being long for this one. Just wanted to kind of drop the news. Boy, yeah. We gonna see how this fight plays out though. We're gonna see how the fight plays out. A lot of people seem to believe that De Los Santos has a chance, but I'm not sure because he did look well drained himself, but he do also look like he's naturally smarter guy. Not to mention he's been out of the ring for 2 years. His punch power, his punch may not have an effect on Keyshawn, so don't be surprised if he's not able really to hurt or move Keyshawn tomorrow night when these dudes step in that ring. But yeah, you said Keyshawn would be champion again at 140. Yeah, more than likely he will. I don't. There's no doubt in my mind that he won't be champion again. Bob Arum and them gonna put him in position to be the champion. I'm not sure what the fine is. I know De Los Santos is, I believe he's obligated to like 20% or something like that, or they're gonna ask for 20%. I'm not sure what the percentage is, but that's all if De Los Santos decides to take the fight, because I think he still gets paid regardless. But I think if he takes the fight, I'm not sure how this is gonna work, but I would imagine if he does take the fight, he probably gets some of Keyshawn's purse as well and a chance to win a title. But if he don't take the fight, he probably could just walk away with his original purse that was negotiated. So that's what I'm assuming how this is going to play out. I think he's going to take the fight though, because it's an opportunity for him to be in position, opportunity for him to rematch Shakur Stevenson, opportunity for him to become a unified champion, opportunity for him to make money as a champion and to increase his profile. So I think he's going to take the fight. However, it is going to be a risky fight. Keyshawn is a beast. Yeah, he got no choice but to take the fight, bro. He hasn't worked in 2 years. It'll be for nothing almost. Even if he did take the money, and just walked away. It'll be kind of for nothing to go through the training camp and to lose weight and all that. It'll be for nothing. So you might as well go ahead and take the fight and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's necessarily gonna end well for him. You see how far Keyshawn pushed him back. Yeah, there may be a significant power and size difference in that ring tomorrow night for sure. You said bigger fights for Keyshawn at 140. Yeah, it is for sure. That's what T.O. is at. Devin, all these guys, Richard, Hitchin, all these dudes is at 140. I think even Cambosis, ain't he at 140 now? So wait, is Hitchin at 140? Yeah, he got to be. Yeah. So he's fighting Cambosis. So Cambosis even at 140 now. So a lot of those dudes at 135 is kind of moving up anyway. What's up, Cerebral? I see you in the building. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Random live stream. We just had to talk about some of the latest news. We're gonna have a good show this Sunday as well. I got some information on Terrence Crawford that's gonna be very interesting and I would say game changing for a lot of people when I give out this information this Sunday about Terrence Crawford and, of course, him going up in there with Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. I don't know, but I got Keyshawn still winning this fight tomorrow night. I don't think it's going past 8 rounds. I don't think it's going to go past 8 rounds. I'm going to stand on that one. I think it's not going to go past 8 rounds. I think Keyshawn's going to stop him. I don't think De Los Santos is going to. He may land some big shots in the fight. But I think Keyshawn's gonna be on point, and he's gonna get through the fight by via stoppage, somewhere around the 8 rounds. We don't know what De Los Santos is gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? He's been out of the ring for 2 years. But this is gonna tell us a lot about De Los Santos if he goes out there and put up a really good performance to where he wins a controversial decision or something like that. Or if it's a situation to where he buzzes Keyshawn and starts teeing off on him, and the referee got to kind of pull the plug on the fight. But I highly doubt that happens. It's just I just don't see it really happening. But it is something that could possibly happen. You said it looked like Keyshawn's gonna be fighting Matias next at 140. Yeah, he should go up there and fight one of those guys. Matias, somebody like that. 140 is the move for Keyshawn at this point. Um, Time is up. That's all I can say. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause now, if he does stay at 135, then we gonna have to start putting the label of the weight bully tag on him. You know what I'm saying? If he continues to try to campaign at 135, when we all know he needs to be at 140. You say you got Keyshawn by fifth round KO? Yeah, I got him. I don't got this fight going past 8 rounds because De Los Santos is a fighter that's going to be coming forward, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good fight for as long as it lasts. I don't expect this to be a boring fight by any means. If De Los Santos takes the fight, which I believe he will, I believe he's still gonna take the fight. But he gonna have to Keyshawn gonna have to cough up some of that money, man. That's just how it goes. Yeah, cough up some of that money. You know what I'm saying? And then we can get this show on the road. But yeah, as far as everything else, him calling out, um, pressing Abdullah Mason like some iron clothes, um, and him seemingly not too interested in the Ray Moore tire fight is kind of it's interesting. It's a whole different thing within itself. Um, a lot of excuses being thrown out as to why he didn't want to fight the guy. I didn't think those was good enough excuses to really be had, and it was really new. Those was new ones. Yeah, I don't want to pay the stakes bodies. I mean, it may have been true, but that's definitely new. You don't really hear fighters come out and really say something like that in regards to somebody that's in a weight class that got something that they should want. You don't necessarily hear that, so that was new to me. You say he should take the money? Yeah, Keyshawn look big as hell. Oh yeah, he like a whole different. He like a different weight class, a whole different weight class from De Los Santos. A whole body frame bigger. So I don't expect De Los Santos. Um, I just don't see what he's going to be able to really do now. I didn't think the size difference was that great. I assumed Keyshawn was a somewhat bigger guy, but not by that much. Like he's actually like damn near looking up at him. You know what I'm saying? You know, Santos probably like 5'6". Keyshawn probably like 5'9". But smash that like button for your boy, man. We wasn't gonna be too long this afternoon. Just had to break the news. Keyshawn Davis misses weight, man. Yeah. Anything can happen in the sport of boxing. A lot has happened in the past. I guess you could say this week. A lot of little things happen in the sport. Um, you know, fights falling apart and all this stuff, and a lot of duck tactics, ducktails, um, going on and all that. Yeah, you said Keyshawn's brothers are big. Yeah, they big too, man. Yeah, they big too. But this is the right move though. It's unfortunate that it was kind of done in an unprofessional way, but this is kind of better for the division. Now that Keyshawn or Shakur is kind of out of the way, now that the division kind of unify, this frees up the division a little bit to kind of let everybody do what they need to do. Because Keyshawn and Shakur wasn't going to fight, and Ray Moore may not have got an opportunity to unify. He probably is going up to 140 his damn self soon, especially with the IBF and those strict rehydration clauses. I would imagine he's been at the weight for a while too. He don't necessarily look like a small lightweight himself, so I expect him to be going too. So yeah, things the lightweight division might look different within the next 3 to 6 months. It might look different once again. Honestly, you said Keyshawn is disappointed. I thought he would make the difference at lightweight, but the dude don't even belong there. Nah, he don't. He just outgrew the weight, man. You know what I'm saying? And he probably won't be at 140 long either. Honestly, dudes never really stay at 140 long. That's like almost like a quick pit stop for a lot of guys, and then they transition to 147. You said, who would I finally see taking the fight with T.O.? The question is, will T.O. take the fight? Because now I see T.O. as a guy that was pump faking for all this time. I think T.O. was pump faking, bro. He didn't want no smoke with Devin Haney at all. to the point where some of his biggest fans was had to call him a duck. And then they came out with a statement earlier today talking about mental health and, having something big later this year and all that. So, yeah, he was mentally ill all those times that he was on a camera talking about bananas and watermelons and calling out Crawford and Boots. You said Keyshawn versus Gary A. Russell? Yeah, it would be. Gary Antoine Russell, Gar versus Keyshawn would be really good. Gary Antoine Russell looked almost unstoppable in his last fight. That's a tough weight class. That's a tough weight class. That's a really good fight. I don't think nobody's gonna be looking to hop in there with that version that we saw of Gary Antoine anytime soon. I don't see it, bro. He looked at unstoppable. Yeah, T.O. was pump faking, bro. We can't take him serious no more, bro. He didn't want to fight none of those dudes for real. He lost his mind. You say you picked your Thunder loss? Yeah, man. I'm glad Indiana won, man. They was losing the whole game, and then they won at the last second. Tyrese super clutch Halliburton, the most overrated player in the NBA, did it once again. You say he ain't crazy, he acting. Yeah, I know. But that's the excuse they like to use now. You know, so only guys like him and Ryan come out here and, use that as an excuse to duck a fight and all that. You was just talking shit. Then a week later, Devin said, it's my turn. Now you got mental problems. You was just in negotiation with Jerron Ennis about to fight him. You got that fell apart. Boots moving up to 154. We see Boots now. He's looking big as hell. So we know he ain't going back to 47. You went out of one negotiation, you hop right into another one with Devin, because Devin threw his name in the hat too. And then you end up ducking the fight for 11 million, and now you claiming that you got mental problems. So nah, man, I'm through with that dude, bro. He's a joke. Ain't nothing wrong with him or his dad. They'll be on the internet calling people pussies and all that and bitches and talking all kinds of shit. Then they want to drop N bombs and then they want to claim mental health. Nah, man, fuck you, bro. You said Shakur should move up too, but then there's gonna be another thing where you know, but they gonna have to fight for them belts. So they're gonna have to get a belt, but Shakur should be able to go up right up for the WBC and get a title shot with the champion up there. Keyshawn would have been able to do it for the WBO super champion status, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. What's up, Dragon Leg? I see in the building. DGO, salute. Philly Joe Jones, salute. Okay, y'all smash that like button for your boy, man. Yeah, man, this is what happened today, man. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't know, but this is what happened. Keyshawn Davis missed weight by 4 pounds. Um, we gonna see. We gonna see how many rounds this fight go. I think it won't go past 8. I don't think it's gonna go past 8, man. But yeah, man, the fight with Abdullah Mason likely won't be happening now. And that's good for Abdullah Mason. I don't think Abdullah Mason, I like Abdullah Mason, but I don't think he's necessarily ready for a fight like that just now. I don't think he's just ready yet. You know what I'm saying? Kid got a lot of potential to grow into something probably greater later. But I don't think a fight with Keyshawn Davis would be a smart move, honestly. You know what I'm saying? As far as building a next up and coming fighter who's next after these guys, who got a lot of promise, I don't think that would be a smart move to put him in there with Keyshawn right now. I don't think he's physically or mentally ready just yet for some of the top guys at 135, especially a guy like Keyshawn. You said he knew he wasn't gonna make weight. Yeah, he knew. Yeah, he knew he wasn't gonna make that weight, bro. He knew he wasn't gonna make weight, but he got on scales, smiling still like he made the weight. He knew he wasn't gonna make the weight, but he had to save face somehow because this is kind of like a blackout for Keyshawn. You know what I'm saying? He missed weight, but we assumed this was gonna come when he had to cut his dreads off, his locks off before during his last fight to make the weight against Baranchik. So Yeah, I didn't think he would miss it by that much, or actually at all. I expect him to be kind of gaunt and skinny fight week, but he missed weight completely. And as if you look at him on the screen, he don't really got nothing left to lose except for some bones. So, yep. Nah, the Foster Fulton fight just got announced. That fight's not happening yet. It just got announced. This is a good fight. It's gonna be at 130. It's gonna be an interesting fight, man. I don't know. That's a good fight. I don't know who's gonna win, but Fulton wants all the smoke. That's all I know. Fulton wants all the smoke. You said Dula Mason. Yeah, Dula Mason is not ready yet, man, at all. Mentally, I don't think he's just ready yet, man. He might be someday, but not right now. What's up, Slide Tendencies, man? Happy Friday, bro. Salute to you, man. Yeah, some of the latest news in boxing. It be so much stuff happening. I should have did this stream later, but I wanted to kind of talk about it now. If something significant happens later, we may go live later. But other than that, we got the post fight tomorrow for this particular fight. Of course, for the UFC fans, we got Mirab versus Sean O'Malley 2. That's tomorrow. That should be pretty good for the MMA fans. And then, of course, Sunday, we got the Canelo Crawford debate. I got some new information, new clips and stuff for Bud. That's going to be really interesting to hear. And it's going to be a game changer for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? It's a game changer. And I think once I ain't going to say no more. I ain't going to say no more. Hey, Haney never missed weight. Haney's always been professional. Um, they call Haney a weight bully, but he never missed weight or none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, the guys that people like to call weight bullies don't be missing weight, y'all. That's the truth. They don't be missing weight. It be the guys that you don't even think about missing weight. They end up missing the weight. Salute to Sly Tendencies for the super chat. It's going kind of slow. It says, Key slipping. Hopefully this is just a minor setback. T.O. smoking rocks, Brody. This is a duck, T-Ho. Yeah, it is. It's a super duck, bro. It's a super duck move from Tiafimo. Keyshawn, as far as Keyshawn, it's just a minor setback. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's a guy that's always missing weight. This is one of those things that kind of it's just bad timing. You know what I'm saying? It was just really bad timing. Maybe he should have just moved up after the fight, but maybe he felt like he can kind of still make the weight and kind of get it in. But unfortunately, timing was wrong. And now it's kind of like I guess you could say a minor setback. Guess you could say it's a minor setback. The last guy he fought before Baranchik missed weight by like 7 pounds or something like that. And he was a smaller guy than Keyshawn still. So I don't know how that shit's just weird, bro. That shit's just weird. But yeah, Tiafimo ducked, so yeah, I think, he should be on mute for a while. Nobody should really take what he say serious. He ducked Devin. Devin is a guy who never missed weight, none of that stuff, bro. So yeah, gotta get Dev credit. And when it's time to move up, he just moves up. Oh, Key and Andy Cruz? Nah. I think Keyshawn stops Cruz, bro. Especially now. Keyshawn may even outgrow, maybe the much bigger guy by the time they fight, if they fight. I think Keyshawn stops Cruz. We gonna see how Keyshawn looks tomorrow, though. We gonna see how he looks tomorrow. Then we can continue these conversations. Right now, we gotta wait to see how he looks in this fight with De Los Santos. What's up, Wayne Hennessy? I see you in the building. You said Keyshawn loses this fight. You believe so? There's a lot of people that think he lose, man. There's a lot of people that think Keyshawn might lose this one. By looking at the facts, the factors, like, De Los Santos hadn't been in the ring in a while. Keyshawn's been pretty active, if we're honest. He's been pretty active. Dude ain't been active at all. Like most PBC fighters ain't been active. Speaking of PBC fighters that ain't been active, Frank Martin told everybody, allegedly, he told everybody to keep talking about his name, um, because he wants to fight 2 or 3 times. He's tired of being inactive. And this is like a PBC curse, man. A lot of those dudes want to fight, but they just don't be having shit happening. And he also said he thinks that De Los Santos is going to win this fight. That's just what Frank Martin said. You say you think Keyshawn's going to struggle to make 140? He might, bro. Like I said earlier, he may have a fight or two at 140, and before we know it, he's gonna be at 47. He's gonna be at 147 before we know it. He ain't gonna be at. You best believe he ain't about to be at 40 that long. He's just not gonna be able to make it a career like Taylor or Regis Prograis. Interesting turn of events that happened in sport of boxing. There's still rumors that Tank Davis gonna be fighting Jake Paul. People still kind of talking about that. So I think that's a freak show fight. Lamont Roach is in camp, actually looking really sharp, really good already. We haven't seen much on Tank. I think Tank broke out the other day and said something, but it was like just a small quote. You said De Los Santos coming back from a 2 year layoff and blood clots. He's gonna be hungry. I'm pumped for Scooter and Icewater. Foster, that's a good scrap. Foster has pistol jab. Scooter got better. Um, yeah. You said Haney missed his prime by staying down there. He probably did, bro. Haney should have been moved up too, but he was still able to make the weight. You said big shock beating Foster, Fulton. I think so. I think Foster is battle tested. He had his ups and downs. He's a really good fighter with a lot of skill. Um, I think Foster's gonna win too. Not to say Fulton doesn't have a chance. I'm not saying it's like a one sided beatdown, nothing like that. I'm just saying that Foster's the bigger guy. He's been in some big fights himself. I don't think I ever seen him knocked out or knocked down. Right? I'm not quite sure. Um, yeah, that's a good fight, man. I like that fight. Kind of out of nowhere, but I like it. What's up, Stank? Does I see you in the building? Y'all smash the like button for your boy. I know this is a random time to do a stream, but we gotta talk about some things. You said there's some guys that at 140 it's not a good matchup for Keyshawn. I don't know. There's some. I'm gonna have to think about it. That's something to think about. I'm gonna think about it, and you may be right though. I think you might be right. There's a lot of dudes up there that can fight and can box. That's big and strong, fast. 140 division kind of reminds me of the super welterweight division, the junior middleweight division. It reminds me of that division. Everybody good. You know what I'm saying? Everybody good. You said that's a 50-50? You said a Tank Rose rematch won't happen? Tank probably won't fight Roach again, bro. Roach probably too much of a problem. Lamar Roach is probably too much of a problem for him. Yeah, this also opens up the lightweight division for guys like Lamar Roach too. Cause I think Lamar Roach might as well go ahead and be a lightweight fighter now. He ain't about to be going back down to 130 unless he go unify with Big Shot. But I think he should go ahead and move up to 35 now. It's open now. Keyshawn, big guys like Keyshawn and them, Devin gone. All those dudes are that's kind of big, lightweights now. They gone now, and he's damn near. He's bigger than Tank. Lamont Roach. He bigger than Tank. You said where's the promotion? I don't know, man. PBC got to save money, man. They can't be promoting fights all along and shit. They gotta They got to stretch it out. And Prime Video is not necessarily the best marketing tool for boxing as far as pushing fights and all that. People ain't checking for Prime for boxing just yet. And then, it's not like it's somebody on there. It's not like they gave us like a free fight, like a tank fight that's free for everybody to watch on Prime to get kind of everybody on board. They didn't really do nothing like that. Shit tight with PPC right now, bro. You say you got De La Santos beating Tank? I'm gonna wait before I give my predictions on Keyshawn and De La Santos till tomorrow night. But as of right now, I wouldn't, I would see why you would say De La Santos could beat Tank. But I'm gonna wait to see how he looks tomorrow before I can kind of say, okay, because you're only as good as your last fight. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. So you said Keystones. You said he should put a dehydration clause on him. Oh yeah, he is go balloon up, ain't he? What is he? One he came in at what? He came in 4 pounds, so he came in at what, like 140 basically. So if he probably gonna blow up to holy shit. He probably gonna blow up. He probably gonna blow up to like 156, maybe close to 160, man. And looking at De Los Santos, he came in at, and he looks kind of weight drained. But he came in at 134. So I say wow, yeah, holy shit. Yeah, De Los Santos ain't gonna rehydrate as much as Keyshawn at all. He's just not. He came in at 135, so he'll probably come in at like maybe 145, close to 145, depending. You know what I'm saying? Maybe less than that. And I say Keyshawn damn near probably will be coming in close to 160, bro. That's kind of, yeah. Salute to De Los Santos if he takes the fight, man. Which I think he will. He ain't been to work in a while. And he should be promised another fight, another big fight. That's what I would do. I'd be like, man, y'all gotta promise me another big fight with a top guy if I take this fight. And y'all gotta do what y'all gotta do because he missed the weight on some professional shit. But y'all gotta promise me another big fight. I don't wanna be sitting around for 2 or 3 years with nobody to fight. Give me Frank Martin or something after this. You know what I'm saying? Give me another big fight. So yeah, that's what De Los Santos should do. You said that was nasty work from Keyshawn. He pulled a Solito on De Los Santos. Yeah, he did. He pulled a Solito, man. He pulled a Solito, man. You said weight bully fraud. Yeah, that's what I said. De La Santos should be promised another fight, man. Honestly, if he takes the fight and shit, I mean the belt's still on the line for him if he does win. But this is just this really Keyshawn was already a really tough fight, and now it's gonna be even tougher in my opinion because mentally this may change the game for them. Because Keyshawn didn't necessarily look weight drained. He didn't look like he was kind of fatigued or weak or nothing either. But yeah, so he's definitely past 135 now because he's shredded right now at 139. He would have had to take off half his arm or something to make 135. You said 80% of boxers are weight bullies. Yeah, that's kind of the unspoken truth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys is a lot bigger than where they be fighting at. They just able to really make the weight. I think if it was more structured like the UFC, it'd be a lot different. Less weight classes. But I think that kind of hurts certain guys in the UFC as well. Certain guys may be too small for one weight class, but too big. I mean, yeah, too small for one, but too big for another. So they can never truly, um, they may not be able to put out as much against the smaller guys, smaller, faster guys, because they so drained. and then they don't have enough strength to deal with some of the bigger guys at the higher weight classes. So that's just one of those things that happens with the fight game. That's why ONE FC does so well because they don't have these guys draining themselves. I forgot what they do. I think it's rehydration, I forgot. It's something they do differently than weight cutting, but it's better for the fighters. What's up, Cornelius Jenkins? Salute, Mr. Jannar Hill. Salute. Nah, Keyshawn, he declined a chance to make the weight again. He said he tried all night and all that. He said he just couldn't do it, so he declined. Now they didn't say anything about the fine publicly, like what he's gonna be fined or if it's 20% of his purse or anything like that. They didn't really say. All we know for right now, as we on this stream, is that he uh he won't be able to win the title tomorrow night. He said Keystone. That's funny as hell. Yeah, so Keyshawn got a little what do we want to call it? A blemish, I should say. You know, he got like a blemish now. Most fighters don't get a smooth have a career without some type of blemish, where people kind of But this might be go get past him pretty quickly. You know, Kieran Moton missed weight pretty bad last time too. Kermel, but Kermel hit a crazy, crazy, crazy growth spurt. Man, these kids already out here wearing all black with all black hoodies on, and it's damn near summertime. They starting that shit again already, wearing hoodies when it's hot. Yeah, he got cut off his arm to make 135, bro. He ain't gonna be able to do it. There ain't no way. Look at him. He ain't gonna be able to do it. So Bomac and them must have knew Keyshawn wasn't gonna make the weight. They must have knew, man. Oh, you said he failed for weed also. Yeah, he did, ain't it? I forgot about that. You said Andy Cruz was enraged that his son missed weight, blames the stepfather. That's funny. Yeah, man. That's what I said, man. But guys like Bud Crawford, man, he don't got no blemishes, bro. No missed weights, no pot smoking, no PEDs, no split decisions, no none of that shit, bro. Like it's hard for these dudes to get through their whole career without some type of thing to where it's like, you know what I'm saying? Salute to Basket Rock for the super chat. He says, greetings from the mean streets of North Omaha, Nebraska. Key let me down, bro. Yeah, man, he did. He did, man. You know, it's very unprofessional. You know, I don't know what they could have done differently. You know, I think they knew he wasn't gonna miss weight. There's no doubt in my mind they knew he wasn't on track to making a weight. They knew this. They knew this because they always check their weight during camp and see if they're on track and see where he should be at. And I think during the last push, which was this week or whatever, it just wasn't gonna happen. And they kind of knew this shit probably, bro. But Keyshawn is the next big, next star they're building up. So they're gonna make this fall as soft as possible. That's just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Because they want Keyshawn to be the next big star. They don't need him having too many blemishes on his resume. They just don't need it. I kind of understand the business. Years ago I would have, but now I kind of get it. It's a business too. Like these are like look at it like a basketball team. Like these are like teams and shit. Like you gotta, what I'm saying. Even though the fight game is more like a wild wild west than a structured, organized sport like basketball, it's still a professional sport where there's rules and certain things that you have to abide by for safety and shit like that. Hold up, man. I can't. You said he going to start training away from home. And you said he don't want to fight Frank. Salute, Miss Bernice. I see in the building. Um, I don't know, man. He act like he don't want to fight Frank. He act like he don't want to fight Ray. He act like he don't want to fight Frank. I mean, look, I like y'all know Keyshawn one of my favorite fighters, but it's just I'm more of a realist than anything. He act like he don't want to fight those guys, bro. That's just what I noticed. His energy is really different, and Andy Cruz too. You know what I'm saying? For Andy Cruz too. Like his energy's different with Cruz, Frank Martin, and Ray Muirtaya. It's different. He said, yeah, he said he don't want to fight, and that's another thing too. He'll actually come out and say, you know, that's one thing I've been peeping on Keyshawn lately. Like he'll literally come out and say what he ain't gonna do or who he ain't gonna fight. And these are fights that we would like to see him in. These are other champions, other top fighters, and he telling us like, nah, man, I'm not fighting that dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You're not fighting them dudes. So what could you do? You know what I'm saying? It's not a good to me, it's we didn't hear guys like Bud and them saying Bud didn't say nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking like Bud and them. Bud didn't say who he wasn't gonna fight. None of that shit, bro. Like he telling us, and these are guys that's in his weight and everything. So it's yeah. You said he duck talk. That's why I had the ducktails theme on my last video, man. I'm sorry I had to do it to him. He one of my favorite fighters, man. But you talking funny, dog. So I had to hit you with the ducktails theme, dog. That's what I'm gonna do from now on. When these dudes out here talking like a duck, you gonna hear that theme in the background from now on. Hey, I'm glad you said that, Dragon Leg. Glad you said that. He says, to be real, Keyshawn, since he got the belt, he got a little diva in him. I'm glad you said that, bro. Remember, what do I always say, bro? We don't know who a fighter truly is until he get that world title, bro. Once they touch that first world title, then we see what they really is. See who they really what they really about. That's when you learn a lot about the fighters when they first become a champion, bro. Not when they come up, because all them fighters be hungry when they come up, but when they become that champion, come that first world title, that's when we truly see, bro. And right now, Keyshawn, he's saying a lot of he's leaving up a lot of duck smoke, bro. I ain't lying to you. I'm not gonna sit on here and cap and lie to you, bro. He's saying a lot of things, bro. Even Boots, you know what I'm saying? Who was the boogeyman on the come up? You know what I'm saying? As soon as he got that belt, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of, there's a duck narrative around him now. You know what I'm saying? But he going up to 54, so we gonna see what happened with him. But yeah, man, crazy.
Years now, I just outgrew the weight. I tried. I was up late last night trying to wake up, woke up early this morning trying to make the weight. I just outgrew the weight, man. I was feeling it last time I was fighting ranching. Thank God I made it.
Yep. And the thing is, the interview lady in the longer clip, she kept asking him about 140. He evaded it the first time, and then he kind of, said it, yeah. But we go see, man. I think the move for Keyshawn is 140. You said that diva was always there. You said Keyshawn always been